What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Lock and Cash podcast, Thursday night football edition, with the Denver Broncos taking on the LA Chargers, an AFC West divisional matchup that's going to have some pretty important playoff implications. So we're actually getting another great Thursday night football game tonight. I'm going to give you guys a few angles as to how I'm going to be taking on this game, because I don't love it on the surface, and I honestly think that these two teams are both a little bit overrated. I think both of their records are kind of misleading and kind of a product of I don't want to say fluky wins, but I think it's a mix of flukes and the competition that they've gone up against. But I think that they match up with each other pretty well. The point spread indicates that, so I think we're going to have a good game. So the first thing I'm going to do with this game is I'm going to take Denver in a two-leg teaser. So I'm teasing the Broncos up from +2.5 up to +8.5. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we've dipped now below the key number of 3. This was Broncos +3. Once it came down, I saw it drops into the Wong teaser range, and I saw the opportunity to tease it up, getting it through the key numbers of 3 and 7, which, if you're not familiar with Wong teasers, I would do a little bit of research on that. It's essential to NFL betting. But now that we can get up through the 3 and through the 7, the two most important numbers, I think this is a safe bet with the Broncos here, especially because the total is so low. This is a divisional game late in the season. The total's only 42. If you look at games just this year with road divisional dogs being teased up in the Wong teaser range, so between +1.5 and +2.5, they're 8-1 against the spread in 6-point teasers. So I think this is a pretty safe bet, and especially with the current form of these two teams, the Broncos come into this a lot healthier. These teams, they played way back in week 2, and that game was very one-sided for the LA Chargers. That was, the Chargers were 1-0 already. They came into the season with a new head coach, fully healthy. Herbert looked great. They won that game. They were 2-0. The Broncos were 0-2. And that was a game where the Chargers led 23-0, 20-0 at the half. Denver, the final was 23-16, but Denver scored all of their points in the fourth quarter, so it was pretty misleading. They got shut down for the majority of the game. But again, it was a rookie quarterback, second game in the NFL. But since then, the Broncos have won 9 of 12 games. So it's been a very impressive run for them. Obviously coming off of a pretty crazy win last week against the Colts, where the Colts kind of threw that game away. But overall, I think Denver's in the better spot. They have the better defense. And right now they're just trending up, while the Chargers are still dealing with a lot of injuries and trending down. It's non-existent rushing attack. McConkey's not 100%. Herbert's not 100%. Disley's out for this game. I think they're going to have a hard time moving the ball tonight. So I think the right side of this game, I think, is Denver. I even think they win outright, but I love them in a 6-point teaser. Now, for the second leg of the teaser, I kind of like the Bengals down from 7.5 to 1.5, but you can do this however. I think some good options are the Ravens to use in a teaser, because I can't see them losing 2 games to the Steelers in the same season, especially with the way Pittsburgh is trending now. And that'll be for another video, but they have a rough schedule coming up ahead of them. So I really like the spot for Baltimore on Saturday. I also think the Lions are in a good spot. They're on the road against the Bears, coming off of a loss. It's something that you haven't been able to play on for the most of this year, because they just won 11 games in a row. But off a loss, Dan Campbell has been really strong in his career. And on the road, by the way, as road chalk, which is something you wouldn't expect, but as road favorites, they're dominant under Dan Campbell. So I think it's a refocus spot for the Lions, even with the injuries. And the Bears should just kind of be something that they push aside. So I think the Ravens are a good option. Bengals, Lions. If that 49ers spread, that 49ers Dolphins game, if that spread gets back to 49ers +1.5, you can tease that up to 7.5. I think that's also a good option. So there's plenty of spots on the board, but I really like the Broncos in a 6-point teaser. Now, the second thing that I'm going to do is I want to target some props here. So let's take a look at Gus Edwards, the Chargers rushing offense. I just talked about it. Since the J.K. Dobbins injury back in week 12, it's just been non-existent. I mean, and it's not just to blame Gus Edwards. It's also Vidal, the other running back. It's kind of a shared backfield now. Neither of them are able to generate sustained success on the ground, but also explosives on the ground. And it's also the offensive line. The rush blocking for the offensive line has gotten significantly worse as the season has gone on. I think it's just a testament to how brutal the NFL is, the wear and tear that you experience over the course of playing 14, 15 games. It just gets to most teams, and a lot of this ends up just being luck, who peaks at the right time. So the rushing attack right now is trending way down for the Chargers. They're going to have to go up against one of the better rushing defenses in the NFL. Denver, top 5 overall versus the rush, second in yards per carry allowed. This is a stifling run defense with a great secondary, but their injuries right now are in the secondary. So I think up front, it's going to be very important for this game to keep the Chargers away from that success on the ground. Gus Edwards, he's projected for 10 carries. His longest rush prop is the one that I want to target. It's 10.5 yards. He's had 5 total carries the entire season that have reached 10 yards. He's gone above only twice. You know what the two next highest rushes were? 11 yards and 12 yards. And he has 0 breakaway runs this season, which are 15 plus runs. So under 10.5 for the longest rush against this defense in this spot, I think is a solid prop. Now it's juiced a little bit to the under, but I still like it. So Gus Edwards under his longest rush under 10.5 yards. I also think you're going to see Vidal steal some of the snaps tonight because the way Edwards is projecting, you got to give him a little bit more of the share. So I like that prop for Gus Edwards. The second one that I want to look at is Devon Vele. Okay, now this is probably my favorite one, but before we get into that one, let you know that we are partnered with Underdog now. So if you are going to play these props straight like I do, sprinkle them on the side, whatever. I also like to have fun sweats in the Underdog app, so I play them with Underdog as well. If you use our code LCS when you sign up with the link down in the description, you will get a free pick on Justin Herbert to just get 1 yard. That's an automatic sweat-free win, and it'll raise the payout of your play. If you use it on Underdog, you also get, I think it's like up to 1K in bonus cash. So there's some nice offers there. I check the app every day just to see like what's the fun game of the day, what are the fun offers, and it's just, like I said, it's sweat-free side money to play with. So check that out down in the description. Now, Vele is an interesting one because he's on the Broncos side, but I want to fade, even though all the things on the nice thing I just said about Denver, I want to fade their passing game, though, in this game specifically, because I think this game could have negative game script, meaning the favorite, which people usually expect is the better team, the favorite. I think actually, though, they could be playing from behind. I think Denver will jump out to the early lead. I could see the Chargers having to play catch up. Because of that, I think Denver's going to be less reliant on their passing game than they have been in the last 2 weeks. Because remember, they were going blow for blow with Cleveland. They were down in that game to Cleveland on Monday Night Football. Last week against the Colts had a lead for the majority of that game. So Denver had to kind of throw the ball a little bit more. But I think tonight they could actually maybe lean a little bit more on the short passing game and their rushing attack if they're playing from ahead. Because I do think that right now they're the better team. Now, the second aspect to this look here is how the Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton connection has started to grow as the season has gone on. And all you have to do is take a look at the last month, the last 4-game sample size. As Nix to Sutton has become more stronger, you're starting to see Troy Franklin sneak up a little bit as well. But the main thing here, which is top line metrics don't show you, is that Devon Vele his route running has started to decrease. So he usually averages around 1 target per 5 routes run. Last month or so, that's decreased to 1 target per 9 routes run, and he's only running about 20-ish, 21-ish routes per game, when earlier in the season he was running many more than that. So he still has potential, big play potential, explosive play potential, which could kill this. But I think I like the juiced here alt of getting him under 39.5 receiving yards. It's a little bit juicy, but I like this play. It's very plus EV. He stayed under 40 receiving yards in 7 of 10 games this season. And like I said, the last 2 games were heavy passing script for the Broncos. I don't think that's going to be the case tonight. So just to recap, we're going to be taking Denver in a 6.2 leg teaser as the first leg. I'm going to be going under Gus Edwards' longest rush prop of 10.5 yards, and I'm going to be taking Devon Vele under his receiving yards as well. Guys, let me know what you think. Good luck if you're betting. I will have another video up for the college football playoffs, which I'll be working on tonight. So watch out for that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that, and have a great weekend. Let's get it.